I'm really excited to have you on, and did a podcast, and wanted to go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Silvia Volonte. I'm almost 26 years old, and I'm from Milan, Italy. I'm a golfer, and I started playing golf back in 2005. So it's been quite a journey.
So how'd you get started?
Actually, it was like a family thing. My dad once was like, "Oh, hey, it's gonna be fun. Let's try to play golf all together." And so we started taking lessons all together, and then we liked it. But actually, me and my dad liked it. My mother and my brother quit playing golf, but then they started again. But it was me and my dad basically that kept on taking lessons and go and play on courses and stuff like this. And then I started doing some competitions, some nationals competition when I was still young. I was like 13 years old. And I remember I would shot like 108, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy because it looks like it was a huge score for me, And then things started to get better for golf, and I started to improve myself. And then back in 2011, I was sent a year in Oklahoma to Comanche High School, actually, in Comanche, a really, really, really small town. And actually down there was a lot of things to do. So I spent all my day playing golf. And I remember I was in the school team, and it was so cool because we would leave like for a week and go play golf and just do that all day, And actually Comanche golf team was already state champion. They won the title back in 2011, and then when I got there it was like the season of 2011-2012. And we started doing some competition. We won regional competitions, regional championship. I don't know how to call it, but yeah. And then back in May, there was this huge competition. All the team was so excited to do it. And it was the state competition. And we really, 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 really played so good. And actually won the title of state champion, and I got 8 in Oklahoma, so it was like such a huge thing for me, because in Italy, I mean, golf is not so popular as a sport. It's considered like a sport for rich people, sport for old people, because it's kind of different. I really saw some differences when I was living in United States from people who plays golf in United States and people who play golf in Italy, And it was kind of fun because in Oklahoma, everyone would play golf with a beer on their hand and chill. And in Italy, it's not like that because you need to be dressed up, you need to be really quiet. And I mean, it's a little bit more boring in Italy to play golf than it is in the United States. In the United States, it's more fun, I guess. Yeah, it's more fun. But it's tough. It's tough because whenever I was in the school team, all we did was training. And I remember the days before the state competition, our coach, which was really, really, really a good coach, I have really good memories of it. He would take us on the course and be like, you are gonna do, he put us on the green, and he was like, you are gonna shot all the balls you have and then start again. And oh my God, that was really, really exhausting. So, but yeah, we did great, and I was so happy. And then when I got back in Italy, I really had this huge improvement on my golf. I became a real golfer, let's say, because before it was like, yeah, I play golf for fun, but then I started to be a little more competitive, you know. So when I got back, I attended some national competitions. I was never able to be in the best of the Italian golfers, but I tried. I never succeed in that, but I think it's just because I'm not mentally prepared to do this, because competition was such a, wow, it's crazy. And if you are girls in golf, oh, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, and I'm not able to stand that much of competition, you know. And I don't know, my brain is like, no, 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 you can stand it, just and and so I attended some competition. I tried to play on the Rome golf course, which is the golf course you do the exam to pass pro. I would love to be a pro, but I still think I'm not in the right mood. You know, I still feel like at this point of my life in which I have my job and my friends and stuff like this, I don't feel I have that much time to dedicate to golf for being a pro. And it's okay, because I mean, I can play competition in my golf club, which are, I mean, not really important competitions, but it's still fun. You know, you gather with friends, you spend 4 hours of your time, and it's okay like this. I mean, I don't think I will be able to be more than this. I mean, my golf career stops right now. I mean, it's gonna be just fun, golf for fun, and it's gonna be okay like this. And it's like sometimes that I love to spend with my family, because my mother started again playing golf. So it's just a way we can gather all together and spend like 4 lovely hours on the course and it's a family thing, you know. And it's okay like this. Maybe in the future I will be able to improve and to be able to pass the test to be a pro. I don't think so, but who knows, you know.
Never know. The one thing with golf though, that it's a self sport, you know. So it's like, even though you team practice, it's not really like a lot like the other sports like basketball, football.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to put a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
Like if you go to martial arts and you train, you know, you might see 20 people in the same class, and you'll see 2 of them that over a course of 6 months go light years up else, because they're going home and doing all the drills, exercises, and doing all the things you're supposed to do. And they come out and they perform better, and they're just going, and they may not be, who knows, but they get better through that self-discipline. That's the one thing that when I coach, I try to teach the kids. I don't care if it's kids or adults. I'm like, it's a little bit different. Like I said, if you got your beer drinkers, we work with them. That's a different deal than your players that are trying to come up, kids that you're trying to develop. And you try to develop them, and you have to explain to them it's a self-discipline sport. Nobody's going to get you out of bed.
Yeah.
It's going to get you out of bed and make you go play golf. It's going to be, you know.
Actually, you know what we say in Italy? We say that golf, I mean, whenever you think you understood everything about golf proves you that you didn't understand anything at all. So that's the funny thing. And I always thought, you know, more practice you do, more you have the chance to play better. No, huge mistake, huge mistake, because there are times in which I practice, and then go on the course and then shoot like a 90, and I'm like, no, And then after this quarantine, actually, which lasted 3 months, whenever I got back on the course, I was like, oh my God, maybe the quarantine did good on me because, you know, I play better than I played before. So crazy
Yeah,
sport.
crazy. I used to do the same thing when I played professionally. It was mini tours. But when I played, I was training like crazy, like hitting balls, and I thought, man, this is the only way I know how to do it, right? Just
Yeah.
I would go and take like 3, go fishing or getting away from it, get out and do something different. I come back, I was twice the player I was, it seemed like to me, than I was whenever I was just grinding and grinding and grinding and just giving it all I had. And I think I think you need a little bit of both. I think you need to know when you're overcooked, which maybe lead us into the next kind of segue, that you need something else. You know, it's not just golf. We get locked up in it. I got locked up into just that's it. That's all. I'm not doing anything else. And you kind of shut everything down around you, and that's not really good sometimes because the fact that you know, thing you got, and if it's not there and work, then you don't have any help to like. You kind of just feel bad. You know, you're playing bad. You kind of feel like it. So you need something to get away from that and get out of your
Yeah.
own. And you know, and that maybe a good segue to about your. I mean, it's out there where you can see it, but it's really cool to see all the things that you do outside of golf as well, and how you live your lifestyle. And if you don't mind, if you want to go in, we'll just take off.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I used to think golf was like one of the best parts of the world because you are outdoor. I mean, that's so perfect. I mean, you are outdoor. You are in touch with nature. You there are not a lot of sport which allows you to be outside, and that's the thing I loved about it. But you know, after all this year, I played and played and played golf. I felt like I needed something else also to try. I mean, actually, in Italy, is very often if you see a golfer, is also a skier because we have like stereotypes. I mean, people who play golf usually also ski, do like climbs, and we are all the same. I mean, it's just like I don't know why, but it has always been this way, and yeah. So during like winter, in which is a little bit cold here, I dedicate myself also to ski and stuff like this, but still try to find some time for golf. I remember, okay, my dad is very into golf, you know. And I remember that when I was little, he would make me play even if it was raining or snowing. And I was like, oh, no, I can make it. And I would be like, oh, okay, the real golfers play with all the condition, you know. So I remember me playing under the rain. I was like, oh my God, no. But yeah, growing up, I thought I would need something else also, you know, maybe to enjoy more whenever I'm on the course. Because if you do that all the weekend, after a while, it's like, is it a job or is it a sport that I love? So yeah, I think it's really important to take let's say a pause, but a break, you know, from golf and do something else. But so you can enjoy more whenever you get back on the course, you know, and always try to leave the golf course with a good memory of the 18 holes you played. But it's not that easy, you know. And
No,
yeah.
yeah, you know, when you go outdoors too, I mean, it kind of gets you out, you know, gets you in a different mindset. And I know you saw some of maybe that Frost podcast, and he talks about you have to engage in you not have to engage in other sports because it gets your mind away from it too. You can take your go to a different place and then you come back fresh. And then if you only have golf, and then you kind of just end up with it. It's a roller coaster, right? So if it's right, and then,
Yeah.
boy, it's a dump, and if you don't have anything else, and then also athletic skills, where you're not really developing your body. Like golfers in the past would always be a little bit. They didn't look at it like a sport like they do now. It's changing, but it's really still only changing at the highest level, or college level, the D1 level, and then the PGA Tour level. It's changing there, and the LPGA and all that. All the professional tours is changing. But what I will say is that it's not really changing still like in junior golf where I'm around. They still are kind of like, not giving it all they got and realizing that you got to train as well. And outside just, just hitting golf balls is not going to make you, big, tall, and powerful and things like that. You have to do other things, and you have to pay that price. Pay the cost to be the boss, as I always joke about. You have to pay the cost to be the boss, and that goes with getting in the gym and doing things you don't want to do. Most golfers don't want to do that, and they usually. And I have to give them I'll give them a little bit of a leeway on that. But they're spending a lot of time on the course, like you said. A golfer, we don't have any restrictions. So you take somebody that really wants to get good. We don't have a 2-hour practice. It might be a 10-hour day, so we don't really, and that's a big factor in the whole. Maybe going out here and doing that and going, oh, I'm just shot. Well, maybe you take 2 hours off or 3 hours off of the golf course, and if you're going that hard at it, and get your just an hour of just something golf specific to make you function better and play better long term.
Yeah. You know what I let's say discovered, but it's not a discovery I made because everyone knew it, but not me. Last year I started like training a lot at the gym, and I started working really, really, really hard on my body and stuff like this, and I didn't think it would give me the strength it gave me on the golf course. Actually, I became a better golfer. Everything was better. I mean, I would shot longer. I would feel less tired. I made an improvement, that was like a huge improvement, and I never thought. And I never thought about it because I was like, golf is not a question of strength. It's like just practice and technique, and nope, it was not, because actually my golf teacher told me that it does really help if you go to the gym, if you work out and stuff like this. And I had the proof on myself, because actually it was a completely different golfer. I mean, so yeah, but a lot of golfer thinks that it's not important. There are two type of people. You go for a walk and it's okay. You shot what you shot. You shoot what you shoot, and then it's okay. And other people who thinks you need a mental coach, you need 3 different golf coaches, you need to go to the gym all day long. You need to take your proteins to improve your muscles to play better. It's just 2 different kind of people, and now I got the thing. So I know that for playing golf, you need also to exercise your whole body. I mean, the fact that I do a lot of ski it helps a lot, like on my legs. That's really helps, So It does. It is a sport which requires, I mean, a lot of preparation, let's say.
It still goes back to that, you know, it's how much you want it, and it, ones that seem to do a little bit of everything. You know, I believe skill set is, and then you know you get your techniques. At some point, you're going to plateau, and you're going to be like, you get a little bored. And then what's the next thing you can do to get out of that? And it kind of runs into, you know, it runs into the body. And then the last thing it runs into, I believe, you know, there's probably more stages, but the last thing it runs into is you get your body, it gets you out of that first plateau where you can get on to one more stage of getting better. And then you come back and you go, man, all right, I've got both of those working. And now what do? All right, well, there's that. And you'd be surprised at how many players have severe anxiety. Guys, girls, it doesn't matter. Old, young, it doesn't matter. And they go out and they don't know what to do. Drink beer is one of them. You know, it works good for about 7 holes usually. And unless you're my uncle, I think he can drink about 18 holes. But no, you go where they don't know how to get rid of that getting scared. And, you know, maybe that leads us into the next thing, which is talking about, you know, doing other things like whether it be yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, all those things, it reduces stress. There's no science on it or whatever. I don't really care if you do it or not. But personally, it's more of if you try to tell somebody about it, it doesn't work because they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And then they don't do it. Then if they do it, this really works, you know, it actually works. So I know you do a lot of alternative things as well, but if you just tell us a little bit about what you do when you get stressed out or you got anxiety or whatever it is.
Okay. Actually, let's start from this. I had a period in which it lasted 6 months. I used to do shank all the time. Shank. It was crazy. It was frustrating. I was like, I would finish 18 hole and be like, okay, I'm done with golf. I don't want to hear anything about it. I quit. It was so frustrating. And I mean, I usually used to think that golf was like a way to relax and way to distress. After that time of after that period of my golf life, I was like, no, I need to find out something else to distress because golf is not working. So you know, I don't know. I mean, for me, a nice way to distress is like going for a ride on a bike, going to walk at the mountains. I mean, whenever you are surrounded by nature, it's just it's a way to get the stress out of your body. But yeah, golf it's not working anymore. And well, I mean, it works for some stuff. I mean, I have some problems at work, and I say to myself, okay, it's not a big of a deal because I'm gonna play golf and I'm not thinking about it. You know, for certain things it can work, but for other things, I mean, the frustration that comes from golf, you need something else to try to take it out of your body. So yeah, whenever I'm stressed, whenever I have this let's say anxiety, I just go for a walk. I just go somewhere I can see mountains, or just go somewhere I can be in a place which is silent, and I'm all alone by myself with my thoughts and stuff like this. That's what I really like, and that's I think that helps a lot to it's like to distress, to stay with you. I mean, we stay all by yourself, and just to be quiet and and chill. I mean, this is a really good way. Sometimes whenever I go to the mountains, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk all alone by myself, and it's just one of the best things you can do in your life, I think, because I mean, I live in Milan, which is a huge town. We always think about work, and we are always stuck in traffic jams. It's during the winter it's so gray, you know. There's always this horrible foggy, and yeah, so golf is like a way to get out of this situation and don't think about this for, I mean, just for a weekend, you know. And mountain is the same thing as well. So I use this type of things to get away from my routine, from this chaotic life that we have in huge cities, you know, and it helps a lot.
Yeah, that was one of the things that intrigued me about you. You know, I'm sure you do things with, you know, other people too, but like alone, and that's, people get scared to do things alone, and I know that really good about, you know, you spend your whole life alone if you play at a high level. You know, most of it, you know, you play with
Yeah.
some you know, players here and there. Practice alone. You do this alone. You talk to yourself alone. You know, you live this life. And so if I feel like I'm getting a little stressed out, I'll walk up the hill, you know, and whatever we got. And I mean, I love to hike, and that's one of the things that it kind of helps you get in there and you forget about everything. And all you're trying to do is put this in front of this, in front of this, in front of that, and you don't think, and your mind just cuts down. You don't have that monkey mind of where you're jumping tree to tree. There's chaos in between here, and then all of a sudden you slow down and you come back to reality, and it's like, all right, you know, I feel better. And I think there's a bunch of ways, you know, whether you mountain bike, whether you do that, whatever you're capable of. And, you know, if you can't, you know, some people are just really, you know, wounded a little bit, you know, move really well. And, you know, it's kind of like that theory, like if you just walk to your mailbox, that's a start. You know, and if you can't walk, you crawl. And if you can't do that, you scoot. You do something to move. Because if you're not moving, you're going to get poison in your body, be able to come out of it over time. And you're going to wish you had. That's one of the things that intrigued me about you as well. The fact that you're confident enough about yourself to be able to go out and do things like that. And it'll help a lot of people if they listen. You know, that's the thing. You have to listen and think that you can do a little bit more than what you can do, and be able to do it on your own. Because sometimes they're in a shitty relationship and somebody leaves them or does something stupid or whatever in their life.
Yeah.
They can't move. They have to move no matter what. I don't care how shitty it is. You have to be able to come out of that little shell that you maybe be able to just, you don't have to climb a mountain. You just have to move to the base. But then to keep moving, and then next thing you'll gradually build over time. You can do this, you know?
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, I used to be scared to be alone too, but whenever I start working, you know, in Milan and stuff like this, I was like, I need some time for me to be alone, to spend some good time with me, you know, to do something that I really want to do. I feel like I don't have time to waste with stupid things, let's say. I mean, so I prefer to go out and go to the mountains all alone by myself instead of being like in a bar drinking beer, you know. I mean, it's just a phase of my life, I guess. But I realized that whenever I started working, I truly enjoy to spend time with myself, even if it's just to read a book or going to walk and And then I do it also with some people, because I have some friends who do the same thing. But and it's okay. I have fun and stuff like this. But sometimes I really need to be alone. I'm just like that. I mean, it makes me happy. I'm like, okay, I can truly and fully enjoy my time. I mean, it's my time, so I decide how to spend it. I want to spend it with myself. I do it. I don't have enough time to spend time doing things I don't like to do, or doing things just because other people do it. So no, for me it's I want to do something, I do it. I don't care if I'm alone. If you want to come, okay. If you don't want to come, I'll do it by myself. It's fine, completely fine. So that's my way of thinking, and sometimes it causes me problem because people don't always understand this way of thinking, because sometimes people think you are weird just because you don't like to be with a lot of people and doing the things everyone does. I don't care if I'm different. I just like to do other things. I mean, and 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 I like it, and I don't feel like I need to change it because my time, my choice, and I'm 26. At 26, you need to know what you want and what you want to do. Life is short, and I guess whenever you want to do something, do it. Just go for it. If you are alone, if you are with someone, I mean, I'm just like that. I know it's strange, but I love this way of thinking. Whenever you want to do something, just do it. If you have the chance, if you have the possibility, just go for it and do it, and spend time with yourself. Learn to know yourself. It's just the things I would like to share with people.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of listeners that take a lot from this, and there'll be some that may take to figure it out. As that it is about, if you can be comfortable in your own skin without you not having to have anybody that you're dependent on. That's tricky because there's a lot of people that, and I'm not saying that, but that's not always there. Life doesn't always keep that, and but I will say that you have to learn how to be able to be comfortable in your own skin and move. And when you don't want to move, sometimes you're not going to want to move. Sometimes you're going to want to just sit there and be still, and maybe that's a good thing, but not long, because like there's an old saying, like if you have a pool of water, it's like your body and your mind work very similar, like a pond and a river. So if you have a pond, it gets stale. There's no flow and circulation to the pond, so the pH just gets crushed, and it's just, you jump in it, and there's a lot of bacteria. It's not really getting cleaned out. Whereas if you're in a river, it's constantly cleaning itself. Even if it's mudslides or whatever, it eventually will clean itself out. You leave it alone, and that's the way I think our body works too. Like if you just sit, that's all you do, and you're not going to move. You're going to sit inside and watch TV all day and be depressed. You're going to poison your mind and your soul and everything that you got. And that's just not that's not living. That's just of a slow death. And just moving a little bit would help. Just starting and trying to create something. But it's hard for people. But you have to do it, and if they don't do it, it's going to be misery.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone needs to find their balance. I mean, I know it's not easy to, if you're used to stay and don't move and just watch TV, you get used to it, and it's hard to get out of that life. But I mean, it depends on you. I mean, you wanna change the situation, you change it. I used to just go out with friends because everyone used to do it, and I was like, I started thinking and told myself, this is not what I want. I mean, I like to be with my friends, but doing the same thing every time, telling us the same thing, no, 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 no. It's not the right time for me. You know, I feel like I cannot do it because my head, my I don't feel like doing it anymore. You know, once a week, okay, but not all day, every night. No, 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 no. I need sometimes for me, and I need to get out of this situation. So I start to find myself some activities to do, some new things. I mean, if I have a friend who does something that I don't, and I'm interested in that things, I'm like, okay, yes, let's do it. Teach me how to do it. I mean, this it can be helpful if you have, you know, someone who knows something more than you do, that can help to get out of your situation, you know, trying something new with with some of your friends. I mean, and then walk on your leg and do it by yourself, you know, or still doing with your friend. I mean, there are lots of things that can help someone getting out of a situation of routine. And for people, for example, who lives in huge town, I mean, this is really important. You need to, I mean, there are some people who like to live in huge town and fully enjoy the situation. I mean, fully enjoy all the loud noises that are in the town, all the pubs and all the bars that are crowded. I mean, it's just not my stuff, you know. So I had to find something else to get away from it. But I mean, there are people who like to live this kind of life, you know. It's just different point of views. But yeah, the advice I feel like to give to people who live in huge town is just to take some time for themselves, to just escape for 1 day or 2 days, or you know, even an hour, I don't know, but just to find the time to escape a little bit and be alone with their feeling and enjoying being alone and enjoying life, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that, you know, like you said, with you know, I go between two big cities here, between Austin and Fort Worth, and it can be that way. And a lot of times, just getting out, and I'm outside every day. In general, that's the way I live. And you know, if I'm here at the golf course, I mean, if I get bored, I'll go get on the tractor and have fun. I mean, that's because I don't want to go. I'm not going to go. There's nothing about it intrigues me about sitting inside. You know. I like to be moving and shaking and whatever it is. I don't have to be in a mad dash or anything, but I do like to be outdoors because of there's a lot of reasons I do. It just, you feel better and you're around people, and it's a social atmosphere, and it's like people, it's it's a clear environment for sure. No doubt about that. And, but I guess at this point, you know, what else would you like to talk about?
I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know if you have any topics you would like to.
Yeah, I do. So like with your, I mean, I'll go back to that one more time. But so with that,
Sorry, to what?
no, about your golf,
Mm-hmm.
about your game. So, you know, what was the biggest change? Really take it from one spot to the next. What was the biggest thing you were doing? Was it more time? Was it just better instruction? What was the one thing that you did that helped you the most?
Um, Let me think about it.
Put you on the spot.
Okay, the things that helped me the most in my golf, it was actually it was last year after my shank period. You know, I met this golf coach which is really prepared. I mean, he um, he didn't even see me playing. You know, we just met up. You know, we went. Um, we met up and he was like, hey, I would like to know how you play. I would like to know something about you because I would like to bring you to another level, you know. He was just, he met me on Facebook. He added me on Facebook and he was interested in the way I play golf, you know. And without even seeing me playing, he was like, you know what? I think you need to low down your hands on your swing. And I promise that it was the thing that helped me the most because the day after I had a competition and he was like, don't try it in the competition because we will see it later whenever you have time to, you know, practice and stuff like this.
Yep.
Actually, I tried it in the competition because I can help, you know. If you're telling me not to do it, I'll do it because it's just how I am, you know. And I think I shot 72 that day. I was so happy because all my driver was straight and always in the fairway. Green and regulation were perfect. You know, I was so happy. And that's the huge thing, the huge changement that I did in my golf, you know, in my way to play, in my way of playing golf. And that was crazy because it was such a small thing, you know, just low down your hand. And I was another golfer, you know, crazy. So yeah, that was but then also it helped me a lot playing in United States because it was another golf. I mean, I never dedicated that much time to that sport. And back to those days, I was really, really a good golfer, and that was thanks to my golf coach, which was really, really it was the best golf coach ever, I think, because he prepared us in a way. I mean, it's just I know that in America it's such a huge thing, you know, sports, but here in Italy at school no one cares about sports. So that was the thing that thrilled me. I was like, yes, finally someone is giving importance to golf, you know. And there's another type of preparation. I mean, another type of training. It was completely different, and they put all their effort in this, and that was really, really fantastic for me. And I remember I had some tough time because I was tired every day. I was super tired because I was not used to it, but yeah, that helped me a lot growing as a golfer. And then I saw a lot of improvement whenever I got back. It was not the golf I used to play before the United States, you know, and that was, I mean, I will always have the memory because if I think about how often I used to train down there and how often I train right now, you know, it's just, it's very different.
No, that kind of happens as we go on, but yeah, there's just always usually a point in everybody's game, you know, especially the ones that are trying, really, you know, you'll see somebody try and try. It may take, you know, with golf, it's a crazy thing. You see people that are come out to the range, kids especially, at it and they work at it and they work at it, and they're not really getting that much. Then all of a sudden there's a breaking point where there is, and it's like you get past the first wave, and then you're on. It's on. Now you can play and you kind of free up. But you know that and nobody can tell you if it's going to be a month, a year, 2 years. You don't know. And it happens, and when you break loose from all that, get over that other hump, then you can start to really take off. And
Yeah.
That's just part of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I just have to thank my coach in the United States, and then this other coach I met last year because you know, I used to have, back before United States, I used to have a really strict, let's say strict, yeah, golf coach because she was very, I don't know, she would film my golf and then be like, oh, you are 90 degrees to the left and stuff. It was too technical, you know. And actually my American coach was used to have a very easy method to explain golf, you know, to explain what you have to do, and it was so more interesting, you know, and challenging like that than, oh, okay, your wrist is like 30 degrees on the left and it should be 15 degrees on the right, you know. Golf is not that. I mean, you can tell me that, but you know, I'm like, okay, good, I don't know what that means. So yeah, I think the most important person that marked my improvement in golf is like, it's my American coach. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. There's somebody that's the main influence that really, you know, developed. You know, some players that figure it out on their own, but very far and few between now. You know, a lot of them really, it's they have coaches, and you know, it doesn't always work out. Maybe it's be the best, it's not, and vice versa. So, you know, it's but when you find one that really develops you and giving you all their time, and they you know, their main focus is your, you know, your game.
Yeah.
All part for sure.
Yeah. You need to find the right person, even for explaining you golf. You know, it's just a way you feel. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people likes to be technical and be like, okay, just tell me how my wrist is like 15 degrees on the left. But you know, other people like to keep it simple. So I mean, it's just a way. It's just a feeling that you have with there are so many coaches and different way of explaining golf to people, but I sure do love the easy way, you know. The simple you keep, the better it is. So yeah.
Yep. Athlete come out at that point, but yeah, you know, you have to have probably a little bit of both. You got to explain it, communicate it. You have to have it where it's simplified, you know, where it's not so crazy. There's so much like, oh, you got to be here, you got to be here, you got to be here. You don't really have to be anywhere, but in general. But you know, you have to make it relate to the player. Make it easy.
Yeah, that's for sure. And golf is already a very hard game, so if you make it easier, it's better, I guess.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt at all. All right. Well, I guess we'll go. We'll wrap it up. So,
Okay.
Anything code or anything like that?
I didn't understand what you said because I cannot hear you very well right now.
Far away. So, do you have a website code or anything like that? Anything?
I have Instagram. You know, I just post there some picture of me playing golf and skiing and on my journey, you know, in the mountains and on the golf course. And if people would like to follow me on it, the name is Sissy Princess.
Okay.
So
put that on there.
Okay.
Very cool. It was obviously to have you on. It was awesome, and
thanks for having me. It was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
We have to do it again sometime.
Of course.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.